Yeah, well, I mean, this is where the conversation I think starts to get interesting, because in the last couple of years, really since the pandemic, you've had two things. Obviously, the shift towards e-commerce drew dollars with that. So e-commerce budgets moved towards retail media. And then you obviously also had a lot of incremental ad spend, and it flowed in the direction. So that was easy, kind of easy money for retail media. Those opportunities are going to kind of dry up. So now it's about having to pull from other budgets. Those digital budgets that I mentioned, that's a big pool that is going to be up for grabs to some extent. So I think that's a big place it's going to pull from. TV budgets, especially as you talk about the CTV opportunity. But you mentioned the big one out there, which is shopper and trade marketing. I mean, it's a huge pool, but it's very political organizationally, but also because with retailers, they don't necessarily want to, they don't want to drive retail media revenue at the expense of that. They'd rather get it from a national media budget or from Facebook spend. So I think that's the kind of dogfight that we're going to see play out over the next couple of years. But one thing that I think will have to be a shift in thinking is that those trade and shopper marketing dollars happen in store. I think as we have in-store digital media start to get bigger and bigger, it makes sense for those budgets maybe to migrate more directly to that. I would argue that big brand national advertising budgets should also be shifting into that context, because the store is the next media channel. I mean, it drives not just performance, but it can drive branding at contextually relevant moments for people close to the point of purchase. They don't necessarily have to buy that brand at that moment, but they can have their formulation of that brand created in those moments when they're actually, in context, in market. So I think there's going to have to be a big shift in thinking about that as a next big media channel. But if that happens, I think you'll start to see TV budgets flow in the direction.